Hi, and welcome to the first ever Number 9 podcast. If you couldn't tell, it's going to be a Newcastle podcast with me, Alex Valenti.
And me, Guy Robson. I'm very sorry if I sound a bit crap. I bought the wrong microphone off Curry's, so I'm using an Xbox headset, but it should be fixed by next week. But yeah.
Yeah, today we're going to cover last week's match between Newcastle and Chelsea and look at the first half of the season for Newcastle, and then we're going to finish with looking forward to the World Cup that starts in literally an hour.
Oh, crap, yeah, it does. Is it Qatar versus Ecuador?
Ecuador. And thriller match to start off.
Have you heard about the alcohol thing with that? I think, is it only the VIP people can actually drink alcohol?
Yeah, only VIP. Apparently you can drink it in, I don't know, if, city centres and that, but as soon as you get near the stadium, you just can't.
That's pissed.
And it's £11 for a pint.
No way. Not happening. Not happening. No. Right, so Chelsea versus Newcastle.
Yeah.
Brilliant
Crazy
game.
match.
You were there. I don't have a season ticket anymore.
Amazing match.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best I've seen in years.
I think it was a good first half. Not really much to separate the sides, I don't think.
No, very even kind of matched each other. They set up with 3 at the back, which turned into a 5 at the back when they were defensive.
Apart from that horrendous pen, I don't think it was...
I thought, with it, I understand he's got to go down with his arm, so he's got to try and... He can't just flop to the floor, so he's got to kind of have a bit of... He's got to have something to land on, otherwise he's going to hurt himself.
It is an instinctual thing to put your arm down, but in the case of it stopping the ball that could have been an attack on goal, there is an argument whether it should have not have been a penalty. But
you've seen them given, haven't you?
Definitely. If it was Man City.
The one player, will be them soon.
I know.
The first thing I thought when I watched Chelsea in that first half was Kovacic stood out for me, and they looked very mediocre. I thought even though it was quite an even first half, we had an equal amount share of the ball, when he was on the ball, they looked like something could happen. I would love someone like that in our midfield.
Definitely. I just didn't really see much attack from them. It was mainly just us playing with our heads, really trying to tire them out a bit for the second half. I feel like that's what we've been doing quite often. We'd have a bit of a shaky first half to tire them out a bit, and then we just lay into them in the second half. And I think that's really working at the minute for us, especially. In terms of our squad, I can't even remember what the lineup was, to be fair.
No, we are recording this a week after because we're waiting for all the stuff to arrive. But
I'm going to quickly bring it up on Google. Newcastle squad versus Chelsea.
It's a similar squad to the game before that, wasn't it?
Don't really make many changes, to be honest, anymore, which is good.
Eddie Howe likes to stick with the players that are doing well, which I respect.
When he started Wood up front, I was always a bit doubtful.
It's because I always thought, I understood with, because the day before that, Wilson got called up, didn't he, or 2 days before that game. So I always thought there's a chance, even if he's not 100% fit, he's not going to risk him. Yeah. Which annoys us because I'm always one of them, club over country, and lots of people love the country and all that, but I'd prefer Newcastle to win the toss before the match than fucking England win the World Cup. But they won. They were alright, but just not great. You got the team up.
It was Wood up top with Almiron and Joe Linton.
Yeah.
And we had Longstaff. Longstaff is one of those players that we need to have a chat about, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, nah. It's just a bit... he's one of them players, right? You can tell the manager rates him, and I've heard things from the backroom staff, and they seem to rate him. They like his work ethic and things like that. But when a player's just shit, you know what I mean? It's hard.
He's a good lad, I'm sure. He plays some good balls, but for every one ball, there's 2 shit balls.
Yeah, no. Even as a squad player, he's alright. Bring him off the bench, but how man? It's just not for me. But he's one of them players you need to replace.
Willock, on the other hand, used to be a similar player to Sean Longstaff at the start of the season and maybe a bit last season, but I think he's definitely on the up. He might be having a bit of an Almiron resurgence.
Yeah. He's really come out his shell with how I think, because you saw when Bruce Cabbage Head first came in, Like, he was on fire, wasn't he? Was it 8 and 8? Similar to what Almiron's on now?
It is pretty similar.
Every game he was scoring from centre.
It's definitely a confidence-based thing.
Oh, he's a confidence player,
I've
isn't he?
always thought Newcastle in general are a confidence club, and the players really thrive on momentum and motivation. And I think when a player has a good run of form, it really never ends until the end of the season, and that's what happened with Joe Willock on his 8 and 8 run.
And it was unfortunate. Like, I think it was the start of the season, he was struggling to get a game because Longstaff was playing all right, to be fair to him. But then now Willock's fitted back in the system quite well, and I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Don't really need to say much about the defence. Absolutely
class.
solid as usual.
Absolutely mint, wasn't he?
Botman and Trippier, I think two of the best players in the team, if not the two best players in the team.
Two of the best defenders this season in the league for me.
Definitely.
There's been no better right back, and there's Saliba from Arsenal's been very good. Martinez has been very good for Man United, and then there's Botman. I think it's them three.
More of a wing back, isn't he?
Yeah, he flies
always
forward
on
like.
the wing. Didn't expect so much pace from them.
And he can have a free. And he's got a free kick on him. So
definitely, and those long balls. The one against Southampton was just probably the most satisfying,
lovely one.
Through ball
broke away.
I've ever seen in my life.
It's a funny game that though, wasn't it? We
didn't play
hammered
that
them,
well.
but at the end of the day, we didn't play that well.
I was watching that in the pub, and I was just thinking, we are playing dreadful. We're going to be lucky to actually score, and then we just
once we got that second goal on it, was Wood goal on it. But one thing I thought about that Chelsea game was, I think it was second half, and it was quite open, and we came out second half even better than the first half, because I think we were the better team in the first half. Just second half, we really pushed it on them, and it was that save from Pope for Gallagher.
Yeah, it was sort of like a
hit it on the defender when he's like,
it was almost like
fingertips.
a curveball to the right.
Yeah,
and just got his fingertips to it. That was a nice shot from
save.
Gallagher. I think Gallagher was all right in places.
He's all right. How was he being called up the England squad? Though that's my question.
That was just what I was about to say. He's an all right player, but that's as good as it really gets.
That's literally it, isn't it?
Almiron, unlucky to get a goal. Unlucky not to get a goal, should I say?
I know.
He played very well. He's always been just running everywhere all the time.
I think when he ran for that Willock goal, he set it up, didn't he? He ran down the right and then cut back in. I was like, oh, he's gonna score again.
Yeah, he did.
And Willock just took it off. I was about to shout like no, and then flew in the top corner. Couldn't complain at all.
There was that passage of play when it was Trippier and Almiron kept feeding it into the box. So unlucky not to get a finish on that. That was just an example of Newcastle's relentless attack now. I've heard a lot of other content creators supporting other clubs. I think it was after the Tottenham game, just commenting on how relentless our attack is, and it's really true,
isn't it? Especially when Wilson's in there.
It's nice to see after such boring football for years and years. There was the confrontations after that game. There was all the tension all the way through. It's always been a battle of a fixture.
I feel like it's the start of a new one. I think. I know it might be early saying that, but when you have that kind of thing, like now I'm looking forward to going to Stamford Bridge because we can give them a game.
It's definitely like a Newcastle Everton sort of level of rivalry, I think, but it's almost like a new rivalry because we've never really been one of the teams to upset the top six. And
Everton are proper pricks though. I don't like Everton.
Everton are the Scouse Markhams of the world.
Them and Villa are just fucking shit, aren't they? It goes Sunderland and then it goes like Villa and Everton, Man United. Them three just for me like. But do you know what all caused that confrontation at the end? It was them two tackles at the end because it was Longstaff flying in. Longstaff was booked for that. But did you see just before that Longstaff one, Bruno flew in with both his legs to try and wipe someone out?
I don't think I saw that. I was too fixated on Burns' absolute monster of a tackle.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it was completely clean. Definitely got the ball away.
Like the Longstaff one 3
flew.
seconds before.
But Havertz, absolute dirty player. Shouldn't really react like that after a game.
Oh, nah. Because if you remember last year when we played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, when Havertz elbowed Dan Burn in the face, and he should have been off for that. And I don't even think it was VAR checked at the time. But So then at the end of the game, it was a Burn, Cucurella, it was Havertz, it was Joe Linton, and then it was the bald Bruno. Do you know the Brighton coach? He used to play for Brighton. Not Brighton, Chelsea coach now, sorry. He went with Potter.
Not sure.
But baldy coach. And then their staff can look like they were coming on, try and cause bother.
I mean, Lascelles had a bit of a go as well, but he was booked for that, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, when he's stopping them from doing the throw. Brilliant, man.
That was brilliant.
The thing is with them, it's like, for me, it stood out. This might be a bit much, but I feel like it stood out as a team that's not really in control.
No.
Like, I wonder if that job is too big for Potter. I know he needs time.
Yeah, we gave Howe time, but...
Because Howe didn't start off amazing.
But we did see changes straight away. And I'll just see Chelsea changing, but for the worse at the minute.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be getting any better at all. Another thing was was it 9 or 7 minutes at a time?
Oh, unbelievable. 7 minutes at a time. We end up playing 9 minutes at a time. It's like, why?
I know. I think personally the FA should produce a statement on where each bit of after every single game, not just a game when there's been a bit of uproar about it.
Or not just our games. It's just like
every single game
yeah.
should release some sort of breakdown of each passage of play that resulted in how much time being added on at the end, because really it should be the same for every team. Like, people were saying we had time added on for running the ball into the corner and wasting time. That's not wasting time. That's
bullshit, isn't it?
With the ball is still in play, that doesn't really count. But another team might not be penalised for something like that.
We saw the same at Liverpool when they had 9 minutes at a time, and they scored right at the end. It was maybe 1-1. We watched that in the pub together.
I think it was 5 minutes at a time, and it went to 7 or something like that.
We watched it in the pub, didn't we?
Yeah, the last kick of the game was heartbreak.
Yeah.
It was the worst walk home of my life, I think.
I'll tell you what I loved. That right at the end, right after that confrontation, it was Pope, Botman, Joe Linton jumping up with the fans and leaders. It was class. Absolutely class, wasn't it?
Ran straight over our crowd. Just a absolutely in-your-face moment of the whole Chelsea crowd.
Literally. So that's our 5th successive win. What's it? We've only lost one this season with Liverpool away, and that was bullshit. So, I touch wood.
Third for Christmas. Best Christmas present I could ask for, to be honest. I mean, you see all these compilations on Twitter of all the times we could have had goals allowed, penalties, whatever, but to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and complain about that, because to think we were 20th this time
last year, we were rock bottom, 10 points.
Literally lost every single game, hadn't had a win yet.
Yeah.
I can't complain now. I said at the start of the season, if we get top 10, that is a massive transformation. And I think we're battling for Champions League now is more than you could ask for. So you can't really complain that we're not in a first or second position. But yeah, it's
the thing for me. I thought at the start of the season, we bought some good players. We bought players like Botman, and I was like, wow, he's going to make a difference. And then I thought we could push for European football, meaning Conference League, something like that. And I would have been over the moon. I'll be over the moon still if we get 7th place and get Conference League, because by the looks of it, we're going to have a good crack at the Cup based off that draw with City playing Liverpool.
I think the most important thing, though, is I think it's 6 out of the starting 11 were already at the club.
Ashley signings, I know.
We had Share. We didn't have Byrne. We had Share, Longstaff. We had Joe Willock, Almiron.
Yeah.
Joe Linton,
Joe Linton's a Rafa signing.
So we had all that.
No, sorry, Bruce signing.
It's just like these types of players were the types of players I'd be sad to see on the team sheet a few years ago, and now they're just
changed it.
Incredible. So I think that's the most important thing. The thing that there's still a lot of work we can do, and a lot of players we can buy, and we're in 3rd.
I still don't think this is our max either. I think there's another level we can go to. And I think it's all about them 2 signings, really. And
when you look at the quality of the football, it's nowhere near the sort of quality of Manchester City, but it works, and that's what we see.
for me, I can really see a resemblance between our team and Klopp's a few years ago at Liverpool, and how Salah's playing with Trent and how Trippier's playing with Almiron. I see a lot of similarities there.
Definitely.
But I feel like with time, Eddie Howe's guaranteed to get some time now, especially because I thought at the start our owners would be quite strict in terms of we want to see improvement now. And they've surprised me, and I think they've surprised lots of people.
I was definitely worried at the beginning when they first took us over and we went on that little losing, drawing run. We weren't really getting many wins. I was a bit worried that they'd sort of get cold feet with what they've walked into.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Seeing them now is just amazing.
It's unbelievable.
And what do you think of the League Cup coming up as well?
Yeah.
I completely forgot we had that fixture. Is it the
22nd? Wednesday night, isn't it?
I think so.
Both going now, so got us both tickets. But
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice one.
But yeah, I think it'd be class because we get through that, then you're in the quarterfinals after that, you know. And like,
I know I'm a bit nervous for it, like with quite a few of our key players being out for the World Cup. Like that's Shea, we still have Botman, Trippier gone,
Pope,
Gomara's gone, Pope gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't even spoke about Bruno.
What about Almiron? Is he doing?
No, he's CICI, yeah.
I know we played Peru with
Paraguay.
Was that just a friendly though?
I think it's just a friendly the other day, but he's still with the squad. I think all the squad have been given a couple weeks off.
Joe Linton will be very important.
Yeah, you got to keep players.
Holding that. Shelby, I think we might see. San Maximin, he's still there. We need to talk about him as well. Oh my God, I don't know how I feel about him anymore.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because there's a player in there. 1,000,000% there's a player in there, but
is it the player we want? Does he play the type of football we
that's
do?
what stands out for me. I think he's so important. I think on his day he's phenomenal. However, I think there's a reason when we played Chelsea last week, I thought St. Maximin's going to come on here with 20-30 minutes left. He didn't. And that for me is because I think Howe doesn't trust him to not lose the ball.
Definitely. When we were playing a team like Crystal Palace, he brought him on. You could trust him, and he made some absolutely incredible balls in that second half. It's a completely different style of play for him though, and I can't quite tell if he looks comfortable playing like that yet. I think it's definitely something he needs to work on and grow comfortable with, but it's weird seeing him not take on every single player. It's quite uncomfortable to even watch, to be honest.
It's because I think when Bruce was here, we were so reliant on him. He was the first name on the team sheet and the only very good player in our team that, besides Wilson maybe, but every ball went to him, everything went to him. And then I think as well as him slowing down and picking up some injuries, I think teams start to realise what was happening. So I think how rejuvenation has changed it all, and we're playing better as a team without him.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I do think that's a lot also the reason for him having quite a bad reputation at points, because he was the most relied upon player back then, so obviously he's going to make the most mistakes if he's always got the ball at his feet.
Exactly.
It's just bound to happen. I think, as you say, there is a player in there. I don't think he's where we need him to be yet. I think we can survive without him, but I
wouldn't get rid.
I wouldn't sell him. I just don't know what his future is at the club. Because I couldn't say how long we'd keep him for.
Because I think we've got players now. We've got Bruno, right? For me, Bruno is virgin, and if not, on world class.
100%.
He is phenomenal.
I think it's a miracle. Like if we had Ashley, and Ashley had brought Bruno Guimaraes into the squad,
he'd be gone, wouldn't
he would be gone as soon as he gets one of those price ratings. You see, like, was it? We've put like a tag on him for like 100.
He's got to be more than 100 now. He's got to be more than 100
just to keep the other teams away. Because to be fair, Real Madrid and them don't want to pay that much for him yet. It is still a gamble for them taking a player like that, because he could just be having a good season. You never know.
Yeah, but then it's like we're bought for 35 million. Like it's incredible.
It is.
He is phenomenal. He's the best
Leon,
player,
wasn't it? Got him from Leon.
Yes, Leon.
He was there with
30 million.
Paqueta.
Paqueta, who Not having the best of times, is he?
I think he's in the wrong squad.
He needs to adapt. Bruno
True.
got months really before a couple months before he started. He'd get 20 minutes off Howe, 30 minutes off Howe, and then he started. Paqueta was thrown in a West Ham team, which it's not performing either. The West Ham.
That's another thing about Howe. He doesn't pick names. He picks performances.
That's exactly right.
You have Chelsea. That is one thing about Chelsea. You knew Mount was going to start. What did he do in that game? Like, he was just.
Yeah. Oh, he was probably the worst player.
You just knew he would start though. Same with players like Loftus-Cheek. But he was all right, and Kovacic was all right as well in the first half.
Yeah.
He was probably the only dangerous player.
It was when Pulisic came on. He caused a bit of pace.
I know.
They had two behind the striker, and they had Broja up front, who was terrible, and they had Gallagher and Mount. It's just no pace.
I did
there.
feel quite scared on some of Pulisic's runs. Very scary player, but I don't know if Potter sees him as more of an impact sub or a starting player.
We were linked with him, weren't we, in January? But
I think it was quite brief.
I think once we get, in a few weeks we should do a squad review where we'll go about who would keep and sell maybe for the January transfer window. But
maybe who would buy as well.
Yeah, I think.
I know we're linked with
Madison, isn't it?
Madison. There's some talks about that. Mudryk.
Yeah,
I think he's a little bit risky, him, personally.
He looks brilliant though. But then there's that. We're even linked with that. I don't know. You say Kovacic Kelly. I think you say it from
something like that.
Napoli. He looks brilliant, but I think he might be a step above us. But
we've got that signing coming in January. Garang Kual.
Yeah,
he's looking absolutely incredible. He's been he came off the bench and I think he assisted a goal within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
something like that. First goal of the game as well.
Yeah.
So just clearly a very important player as soon as he comes on. He's only 18 as well.
Speaking of Garang Kual, he'll be at the World Cup. Should we talk about that now?
Yeah, the World Cup. Right. We've both made predictions.
Yeah.
On who will win for this
Let's
World
get my
Cup.
predictions up.
I'm still not convinced with mine. I really do not know personally how this will turn out. I don't know how England's going to play. I don't know how teams like France are going to play. It is quite a unpredictable cup.
There's a website, The Telegraph, are doing like a World Cup predictor where you can pick who you think will qualify from each group. So should we do that?
That's good.
And talk through what we think.
Yeah, we've gone through that. Right. Pick your World Cup 2022 winner.
That one?
I've got that here. Right, so
Group A.
In Group A, we've got Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands. Senegal, at the time of recording this, Mane is just being dropped from the squad because of injury. So I think that's
huge.
That is
everything
huge.
for them, isn't it?
Potentially,
that was their chance of qualifying. Potentially gone.
So I don't know. I think Ecuador might steal it if they can snatch a win against Qatar.
I know Qatar are the home nation, but they are shite. Like, let's be real.
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm saying Netherlands. Ecuador, Senegal, Qatar.
I think Ecuador, Senegal. I think Qatar. I think there's a chance, as we are recording today, Qatar are playing Ecuador. And I think there's a chance Qatar could win that. Because the home nation, aren't they, at the end of the day? And they always seem to have something, a bit like Russia in the World Cup. Last World Cup.
True, that's a very good point, to be fair.
But they aren't as good as Russia. But I think you're right. I think Ecuador qualify.
I think Ecuador can be a bit of a dark horse at times. I've seen some games where they've proven to be a bit tough.
Yeah, Netherlands, Ecuador, Senegal, Qatar.
That's what I've put.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Group B. This one's tricky.
Interesting.
This is a tricky group. I know England and USA has always been a good game to watch.
Yeah, same with England-Wales.
England-Wales as well.
I don't think Iran should be wrote off.
No, I think they... Like, when there's a team that you think will play badly in a group, they always seem to play very well.
Mm.
I think it's just, again, momentum, motivation. It beats all sort of, like, expected talent that a team would have.
At the end of the day, though, if you're England, which we are, we are that's an easy group.
We are the most expensive squad
Yeah,
in the World Cup. Just minorly beating Brazil, I think.
yeah. It's a group you've got to win.
We have no excuse.
No,
Absolutely no excuse.
and I think realistically, it's a group you shouldn't be dropping a point in, because with the Iran, USA, and Wales, I think it could be any of them that finish second. But
Yeah, I think that the biggest fixture to separate is USA and Wales.
I agree.
I think USA overall are the better team.
I
but-
think
but the way they've been playing recently, I'm not.
Wales always seem to do it, don't they?
They do.
It's with Bale, and if Bale turns up, it's interesting. But I think definitely England qualify first.
I do think USA will
I think USA as well.
take it, to be honest.
And then I think, do you know what I'm going to say? I think Iran will finish third.
Yeah, I just pressed Wales first, but
Yeah.
I do think Iran will play a bit of a dark horse, just like Ecuador.
Yeah, I think that's about right, because I think England will win the group, and I think they'll win it comfortably, as they should.
They
But-
have to. Again, though, I do just feel very nervous about it all, especially after the Euros. Just that we played phenomenally the whole time.
Yeah,
Don't know if there's any topping it or if we're just
yeah. I think
lacking the
it's a poor manager.
motivation.
I don't rate Southgate. I think
I
it'll
think
be
he's had his run,
his last major tournament. I think he'll be gone.
definitely.
But yeah, should we move on to Group C?
Group C is Argentina,
Ooh,
Saudi
interesting.
Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. Right,
Right,
this
before
this is
anyone starts, we are owned by Saudis, but we do not support
no.
the Saudi regime or the Saudi country. I think they'll finish bottom of the group.
Yeah.
However, you got to
Just-
back your boys, and I'm joking.
Yeah, so Saudi Arabia, I think they will come forth because all three remaining teams are teams that I do rate quite highly.
Yeah.
Argentina, Mexico, and Poland are all.
I think
This is a tough group.
I think
looking at it.
Argentina first, definitely, because I think Argentina are up there with one of the favourites for the tournament. I think Messi's going to have a good tournament,
Yeah,
but Argentina first, definitely.
it's Mexico and Poland that.
I think I would go for Poland, just because they've got that Zielinski who's doing really well at Napoli. They've got Lewandowski who's Lewandowski at the end of the day, and I think Lewandowski, if he qualifies, got a chance for the Golden Boot, because I don't know if you saw, but I think it was this morning, Benzema was ruled out with the France
I
squad.
know. Serious injury.
Serious injury.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope
he's
he's
been
alright.
having a
He's a
decent
brilliant
season
player,
as well.
Recent Ballon d'Or winner.
Aye.
So I think Argentina first, Poland second,
Poland second,
Mexico third.
Aye.
Saudi
We're
fourth.
agreeing on quite a lot of
I
this.
know,
to be
like,
honest.
we might disagree on this one.
France, Australia, Garang Kual, Howe, man. Oh, but it's against Denmark. Denmark and
Denmark
France.
are really good. I've seen lots of people actually putting Denmark above France.
Mm,
And maybe we won't disagree on this.
maybe after the Benzema injury.
Still think they've got too much with Mbappe. They've got Ousmane Dembele. They've got brilliant players. I know Pogba and Kante are meant to be doubts.
Right. Curveball. I'm putting France first, Australia second, Denmark third.
Wow.
I think Australia might. I'm backing them. I am backing Australia.
You just want Gareth Cole to do well, don't you?
I want him to just be a wonder kid in this match. I do. In this tournament, sorry.
But
if Australia can snatch a win against Denmark and Tunisia, maybe they'll come second.
I'm going to go Denmark second, Australia third, Tunisia fourth.
I'm just gonna. I think we're agreeing too much. I've got to start being a bit more risky with some of these.
Yeah.
Bit more unpredictable.
Definitely.
Right. Is
Group
which,
E.
Which one's the group of death? Is this Group E?
This
No.
Group E, Group E is a really
Yeah.
hard group. I wouldn't say it's a group
Ooh.
of death, because I think Group H is the group of death, but we'll get onto that later.
Aye. So we've got Spain. Why can't I?
Spain, Costa Rica,
Costa Rica. It's down here as CRI, so I have no idea.
Not very
who they
helpful.
were.
Germany and Japan.
And Japan. Good team. They do very well with international competition.
It's interesting because no one has Spain or Germany down as a favourite to win it, because I think the favourites are Brazil, France, Argentina. But Spain have Luis Enrique, really good manager, and Germany just got Hansi Flick, who 2 years ago won the treble with Bayern Munich.
Unfortunately, I don't think Germany will do the greatest in this tournament. They used to be one of the giants of the international competition, but they really have just declined in my.
It's the lack of a number 9. They're playing Kai Havertz up front, and we all know what he's like from last Sundays. He's all right, but
I think Spain might quite comfortably win this group.
I agree with you there.
And then Japan, they just always really perform well in international competitions.
You think Japan second?
I think Japan second. I think they
bold.
might have a little run.
I'm going to go Germany second. I'm going to go Japan third and Costa Rica. You're going Japan second?
We're gonna have to save this on each of our browsers and come back to it at the end at the end of the group stages. We can do another one with the correct ones, and then see what happens then as well.
After this, you predict the knockouts and stuff like that, which will be good.
Aye. So we've got Group F: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Interesting. Croatia, another one of them who always do well.
Always do well.
And Belgium don't always do well. Quite a risky, shaky nation that you can never put your bet on, really.
Nah.
I'm going to go Croatia finish top of the group.
I think I'm going to have to agree. I think it's an alright group for predicting. I do think Croatia and Belgium will stand out.
And then
it's more between the 3rd and 4th place with Canada and Morocco.
I'm going to go
Morocco 3rd.
You're going to Morocco. I'm going to go Canada 3rd because I feel that Jonathan David's good and they've got Alphonso Davies, who's very good. But it's a close one, but 3rd and 4th really makes no difference.
Group G, do we even need to say first place? Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland and Cameroon.
It's definitely Brazil. And they're my favourites of the tournament. Not just because I want Bruno to win it, but
I want Bruno.
Yeah, I do want Bruno to win that.
If it's not Trippier and Pope, lifting
make
that
it Bruno.
Cup, it needs to be Bruno lifting that.
Agreed.
Cup. Serbia, Mitro, always
Mitrovic, Vlahovic. They've got all the itches, but
itchy team like.
Good though, but Switzerland, another one of them teams who always qualifies. And Cameroon, you can't write them off. They're not great, but Samuel Eto'o doesn't play for them anymore, so I think I'm going to go Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon.
This might be one of these ones where I just have to close my eyes and press them and see if I'm right.
It's really hard. Are you stuck between Switzerland and Serbia?
I am. I might have to go Serbia.
Yeah.
I'm back in the Toon and the X-Toon with these as well. Oh, but then you've got Cher, don't you? Does he's Swiss?
Yeah, Fabian Cher
is
Swiss. Yeah.
Switzerland gone second. You gotta back the current Toon.
Yeah.
If in doubt, Toon Army.
Last group.
Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, Korea.
This is the group of death for me because I think Portugal qualify, but I think Uruguay are really good. They've got Darwin Núñez, who people laugh at, but for me, he's a good player, and give him a chance, he will score.
Yeah.
You got Luis Suarez. You've got Edison Cavani still.
It's quite an older team.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
are
only
right
thing.
there.
They are getting on a bit, and I don't know what the future for Uruguay would be. 'Cause I know Uruguay were a deadly team back in the day in like 2014 when we used to. What year were we in 2014? It's like year 5 or something.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, used to have the Match Attacks World Cup 2014 edition. That was absolutely class, and Uruguay were amazing in that. I'm going to have to say Portugal, Uruguay, Korea, Ghana.
I'm going to go Portugal, Uruguay. I'm going to go with you, Korea and then Ghana.
Yeah. So
round of 16 now.
We've got
you might have a few
Netherlands,
different
USA.
ones to me.
This is where I think the group stages are quite a predictable part of the prediction process, because I just said predictable part of the whatever, because you can kind of just base it on the team's form.
We'll just do your round of 16 and stuff rather than having two different ones.
Yeah,
they're very similar.
So the round of 16, we've got Netherlands, USA. I think
this is when the Americans leave, to be honest.
I think it is. It has to be the Netherlands on this one. Australia, Argentina.
I think your Gareth Cowell journey might be over when they face Argentina.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do think that's where they leave. England, Ecuador. That is a beautiful fixture.
For England, it's an easy 3 points.
France, Poland. that's a clash of heads, I think.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, Poland won't lie down for France, but I still think France have too much, and I think France.
I want to say Poland, but
Yeah.
it's a bit of a reach.
Yeah, France.
Spain, Belgium,
What a game! But I'm going for Spain.
Brazil, Uruguay.
This is it's tougher than Brazil. Uruguay is tougher than I think many people think. Because I think Uruguay will do well, but Brazil for me
Could
will.
be a case of Uruguay going 1 goal up and then
Yeah.
Bruno just absolutely slotting 2 in.
Yeah, I reckon.
Japan, Croatia again. A game where you can't really predict.
I'm going for Croatia. Asian
Yeah.
team, however, just have more quality.
I want to say Japan, but we probably will say Croatia. And then we've got Portugal, Switzerland. It has to be Portugal.
I want Ronaldo to bring it.
Quarterfinals. This is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets either optimistic or interesting.
Can I just point out the fact that I love what Ronaldo's done by putting Man United in the bin, and I really hope he wins the World Cup.
No, I have to disagree. I do not hope he wins the World Cup, but I mean, there has been a case of a few other players complaining about similar issues. So
Yeah,
if it solves the issues at Man United, then
I don't think it will.
I know.
But hey ho, right?
Netherlands,
quarterfinals.
Argentina.
Good game.
Netherlands
I'm going for Argentina though.
have really missed out on Sven Botman, if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
he would have brought the World Cup home, I think.
100%.
Argentina though.
Spain,
What a game.
Brazil.
Wow.
Oh, I hope this happens.
I'm going for Brazil.
Brazil. They've got they've got stars for how many World Cups they've won.
Yeah.
I've just remembered that.
Mhm.
England, France.
This is where the English journey is over for me.
I do think we'll go out in the quarterfinals
Yeah,
this
I
time.
agree.
I'm not saying I don't want us to win. I know I've been backing Brazil quite a bit here. I would love an English win, but
Yeah.
at the current state of affairs, it's very optimistic. I know that you want Portugal to go through.
I think
against
Portugal beat Croatia. Honestly, I do.
I think Portugal will beat Croatia, but in the semi-finals, I do think France will beat Portugal.
The thing, this is biased now because I really do want Ronaldo to do well, but I think France have a coach who, don't get me wrong, has won the World Cup with them. However, there's lots of personalities in that group, and for Portugal, it's almost like Ronaldo's their manager. But I think I'll have to agree with you here and say that
Yeah,
France, not
I
Portugal.
mean, we'll see what happens. It gets difficult at this
What a
stage.
game this is.
Argentina, Brazil.
I think Messi and Argentina go out here. I think Brazil will go through.
Yeah, I do think that it has been quite clear from the start of this predictor who we think will win this World Cup, because I think a lot of the teams, the squads are just changing, and I think a lot of the qualities are changing as well. Like, a lot of the teams just aren't what they used to be. I remember when USA was just a massive threat.
Yeah, at least
Same
more
with,
than what they are now.
Mexico were a tough game. Senegal were really
I remember
tough.
Mexico knocking Germany out the last World Cup.
Germany, they were really,
Four-time
really
winners.
tough. Uruguay, yeah, I just think it has to be Brazil.
I think Brazil win it, yeah. And I think Bruno returns to the tune with the World Cup.
It says on here 24% of people also predict Brazil to win. 28% of people.
Lots of people think Argentina will, because I do think Messi will have a good World Cup, but I hope Ronaldo has a better one.
But we'll have to see how this game turns out in. How long till kick off now?
Yeah, literally 10 minutes till kick off. Wow. But so we'll finish this and give that a watch. But I think that's all for the podcast today.
Yeah, it's been
fun.
Now 40 minutes.
Yeah,
That
I know.
went quite quickly. I hope it's been somewhat interesting. We're quite new to this.
Yeah. Give us some feedback.
Yeah, let us know what you'd like to see next.
And remember to follow our socials on Twitter at Number 9 Podcast and Instagram at Number 9 Podcast.
And we'll probably put this on YouTube or something
Yeah.
as well if you want to. So if you want to subscribe on there.
So I don't know what you can do. Can you subscribe on Apple Podcasts and
You can subscribe
Spotify?
on most things.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually sorted out where we're going to post this, but when we do,
We'll
follow
let you
us
know.
on wherever we post it. But yeah.
Yeah. Just follow us on everything, basically.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Right. Thank you. Bye-bye.